We're continuing to follow that breaking news on the economy. For the month of April, the U.S. economy added 253,000 jobs, and the unemployment rate dropped to 3.4%. Let's bring in White House senior advisor and infrastructure coordinator, former New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu. Mayor, thanks so much for coming in here. These numbers were better than the economists expected. What's your assessment of today's report?
The numbers are great. Numbers are going up. Unemployment's going down. That's exactly what you want. It's evidence that we're having the strongest economic recovery really in the history of the country, and one of the most equitable ones, and proof that the president's vision for investing in America through the infrastructure law, the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act is actually really building an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. So good news all around. The economy's strong and stable.
Okay, let me just hit you, though, with some of the other headlines from this week that aren't all good news. We saw the Fed having to raise interest rates again. That's hitting people in their pocketbook. All of those interest rates are going up. Inflation isn't cooling fast enough. That's the whole reason they did it. We've seen the bank failures that we've been reporting on. Home prices are still rising. So what do you see as the biggest vulnerability right now facing the U.S. economy?
Well, it's all about balance, right? So inflation actually is too high still. We're still continuing to work on that. But actually in the last 9 months, because of the work that we're doing, inflation has gone down 45%. So that's moving in the right direction. The president
still higher than wage growth, though.
No question about it. But it's gone in the right direction. Jobs are up. Unemployment is down. Inflation has gone down, which means that the economy is stable and it's strong. It doesn't mean that you don't have challenges, which is why the president has been investing in America. So when you're investing in building roads and bridges and airports and ports, you're building jobs that really matter. So 12.1 million jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs that don't require a college degree. It means that we're in a good position to actually deal with the challenges that are coming our way. You're never not going to have challenges. It's how you deal with them and how fast you solve them.
So what about the banking sector? What is this administration doing to ensure more banks don't fail?
Well, there's no question that the Secretary of Treasury and our administration has been working with and analyzing and cooperating with the Fed and all the other folks on this banking situation. All of the major folks out there that know a lot about this that say, listen, we have some challenges, but the banking system is stable in America. You're going to have ups and downs from time to time, but they don't think that this is going to be cataclysmic over time.
There's a recent Gallup survey that found nearly 50% of Americans are worried about the safety of money in banks. What's your response to that?
Well, there's no question about it, because there's a little bit of turmoil, but it's how you manage it. And I think it's been managed fairly well so far. You have to contain the challenge. Some of this is really just a little bit of fear, but essentially it will balance itself out over time.
Okay, so Americans aren't confident, but you're saying they should be. As we mentioned earlier in the show, the Fed has now raised interest rates 10th time in a row. It's historic what we're seeing right now. I don't have to tell you how much this, is hurting people at home. And so do you think we'll see the Fed scale back on their interest rate hikes? Might those rates tick down, given, as you've outlined, the strength of the economy that the Biden administration is feeling right now?
Well, first of all, the president has said from the beginning that the Fed is independent, and he needs to leave the Fed to do their job and to try to do it well. The Fed has tried to manage raising interest rates without getting rid of jobs. And, of course, the president has talked about that for a long time. That's why he's been working on lowering prices, prescription drugs, health care costs, other ways to make sure that people actually have good decisions they can make at their kitchen table, like the ones that he had to make with his dad when they were kids.
The president's about to meet with Speaker McCarthy because there is a debt deadline coming up for the U.S. What's going to happen if they can't come up with a deal and the U.S. defaults on its debt?
Well, the first thing to say about this is this nation is not a deadbeat nation. That we were all taught very early, you pay your debts. And that's what the United States of America can do. And the president is not going to let this country default on its debts, because that is our first obligation. The second thing to remember about this is a manufactured crisis. This does not have to be a crisis. This is a crisis that has been foisted upon the people of America, who are being held hostage by the Republicans in Congress. The debt limit, the one that we're talking about now, has actually been raised 78 times since 1960, 3 times with no conditions when President Trump was in office. So this is just the Republicans in Congress wanting to leverage the American people and essentially threatening the American people with defaulting on our loans, causing or moving us more quickly to a recession, costing the hundreds of thousands, maybe even some millions of jobs, unless we actually hurt people. And the way they want to hurt people is they want to take funding away from air traffic controlling, rail safety. They actually literally want to cut funding for meals for seniors. They want to hurt veterans by taking away the ability to deliver health care to them, all in the guise of wanting to be fiscally responsible. This president, since we've been in office, has reduced the deficit by $1.1 trillion, and he has a budget that he's proposed, and by the way, the Republicans have not proposed a budget that further reduces the deficit by $3.2 trillion. So the president has said, listen, let's have a grown-up conversation. Pass the debt limit. Let's get past this manufactured crisis that you made that threatens the economy and the people of America. And then let's have a face-to-face conversation about what we ought to spend, who we ought to spend it on, where our values are. If your values are giving tax cuts to the rich or to the oil and gas companies or the pharmaceutical companies, that's fine. You tell the American people that. Mine are protecting the working class folks of America.